Welcome to the Environmental Justice Lab. I'm your host, Dr. Leslie Joseph. Thank you so much for joining me. And like I said on the last episode, we are walking through the principles of environmental justice. We want to talk about the foundations of environmental justice, and we want to talk about how environmental justice advocates and activists and scholars aren't just trying to protect the environment for the environment's sake, right? We're trying to create a better world where we not only have environmental protection, but also equality and justice for everyone all around the world. That is what environmental justice is fighting for. That's what we're advocating for. And I wanted to spend some time on the podcast to just give you those foundational principles before we really dive into issues throughout the year that involve environmental justice. And so the last episode, we talked about the preamble of these principles, where they really outline for us the full scope of what is being fought for, from protecting the environment to protecting people's rights, to protecting people's cultures and heritage, to giving people equal access and participation in the decision making around environmental issues and environmental policies, and a really good overview of what environmental justice is. And so now we're going to dive into the principles one by one to talk about what they are, what they mean, and how it may look as we fight for environmental justice. And so let's just start with the first one. The first one says, environmental justice affirms the sacredness of Mother Earth, ecological unity, and the interdependence of all species, and the right to be free from ecological destruction. And so right at the very beginning, we're not just saying we should protect the environment just for the environment's sake, just because it's the right thing to do. There's actually a deeper reason for wanting to protect the environment, right? And the idea is that the environment's sacred. The earth is sacred, right? It means more than just having resources available. It means more than just having pretty trees to look at and useful products to create out of the environment. But there's a sacredness. There is a deeper reason for why we should protect the environment. And what they say in the principles is that the environment is sacred and that it's unified, right? There's ecological unity, that the whole earth is unified, that it comes together, it fits together, and it's united so that we can have what we have and live the way we live in the environment. We need to protect it. And so when I think about how sacred and how important it is to just recognize that unity and protect the environment, I can't help, just me personally, go back to my Christian foundation, right? How the first page of the Bible talks about how God created the earth, created all the things in the earth. And at the end of that chapter, he commissions mankind, people, started with Adam and Eve, and of course it extends to the human race, to be responsible for caring for and stewarding and ensuring that what God's created benefits everyone, and that the human and the non-human elements of that created environment, that created earth, are managed well and protected from degradation, from pollution, from the things that you would do that would harm the environment. And I understand there's other, religious systems and beliefs and ideas about how the earth should be taken care of and how it should be managed. I will say this: if your understanding of the earth isn't one that leads to you protecting it, that leads to you ensuring that it's available for future generations, that doesn't lead you to do things that keep pollution and keep degradation out, but that seeks to go in and exploit and extract and destroy for your own benefit and for your own profit, for your own personal enjoyment, then that system, that belief system, needs to be more closely examined. I'll put it that way. Right? I know for me as a Christian, there are lots of Christian teachers and pastors and preachers who like to talk about how the environment is just kind of here for us to exploit and to extract from. We're not to be concerned with the impacts of our activities, that we don't have any reason to protect the environment. It's just here for us to just use at our own whims and cares, and that's just not true. It's just not true. And so I know I've heard a lot of teaching that suggests that it's not true. I actually teach at a Christian university, Liberty University, and what I tell students there is that the environment is not a pantry with stuff that you can just open the door, just take whatever you want, consume, close the pantry door and go about your business. That's not what it is. It's more like a restaurant or a business that the owner has given you the authority to manage and to ensure its protection. And so if the owner comes back, what condition is their restaurant in? Is it the way he left it? Is it the way he wanted you to manage it? Is it managed in a way that benefits everyone who is connected to it? What are you doing? How are you managing it? And so that is what the first principle is. It is that we are affirming the sacredness of the earth. We're affirming the ecological unity of the earth, and we're affirming the right for that earth and those who inhabit it, both human and non-human, to be free from degradation, right? So it's not just about people being able to survive. It's about all of what's been created being able to survive, right? It's the animals, it's the plants, it's the fish, it's the trees, it's the birds, every animal, because I believe that God created them all, deserve to be protected. And we're the ones as people responsible for protecting them, responsible for ensuring that they continue to live and exist on this planet. That's where it starts. That's the foundation. That's the beginning of what it means to fight for environmental justice. And the reason it's so important is because a lot of people don't consider anything other than themselves when it comes to protecting something, right? So if it doesn't affect me or my family or my community specifically, then I'm not concerned about it. I'm not going to spend my time or my resources or my energy to try and protect whatever it is that needs protecting because I'm not personally impacted by it. And that's just wrong, because the whole entire earth, according to this principle at least, is sacred, it's unified, and it needs to be protected. It needs to be protected. And if you don't believe me, think about how activities from other countries affect us and how our activities affect other countries, right? Pollution travels, air pollution travels, right? Water pollution travels. It goes from one place to another. The rivers flow downstream. People who use that water, they're impacted by it. Think about the people who enjoy the environment, people who enjoy nature. You start tearing it down, you start destroying it to harvest what you need to harvest from it, or you start digging and drilling and extracting from underneath the earth, you're destroying those things. What about the plants and animals? What about the livelihoods of the people who rely on the land? You're destroying it. You're removing those possibilities when in fact we should be protecting them and ensuring they're available for the future and ensuring that everyone has access, everyone can enjoy what has been created. Not just some of us, not just the rich, not just the wealthy, not just one particular ethnic group or another. All of us, we all want to live in a world where we all have access to these resources, to the earth itself. And it's important to note that when we talk about access, it's not to extract and to enhance our own well-being, but it's to operate in a way that ensures that the earth is protected and that it functions the way it was designed to function, and that everyone everywhere can enjoy it. They can enjoy it. And so don't miss the necessity, the obligation that we have as people, as humans, to operate in a way that ensures that the earth is protected, that the earth is free from destruction, free from pollution, free from all of the things that would harm different aspects of the environment. Now, the obvious pushback would be that we live in a developed, technologically advanced society where those resources are needed to move things forward, to provide opportunities for people to do things like build homes, provide electricity, to provide the internet that I'm using to record this, the microphones, the headphones, the cameras, all of those things require resources that we're extracting from the earth to make possible and to move our economies forward, to build businesses, to build enterprises that benefit society as a whole. I get it. And that's part of it, right? I mean, we are people too. We're part of the environment. We should be building things that we use, that we enjoy, that help us flourish as a race, as the human race. The same way beavers build dams and the same way birds build nests, like we build too for our species, for our people. The problem is when we do it haphazardly, we do it wastefully, and we do it with no intention of protecting the environment as a whole. So we don't care if the water gets polluted. We don't care how much smoke goes in the air, how much soot and toxic fumes are emitted. When we do what we do, we don't care how many lands are destroyed, how many mountains are blown to pieces to get coal out the ground, how many people lose their lives digging in mines, how many different species are endangered or extinct because of our activities. We don't care about that. And what the environmental justice principle tells us is that we should, and that we need to push for other ways to do the things we need to do for humankind to survive without destroying the environment. We can do it. We have creative minds. We have innovative thinkers. Why are we engaged in these activities that we've been doing for 50, 60, 70 years since the Industrial Revolution to provide what we need, as opposed to reimagining where these resources can come from, where we can get energy from, and how we can use them more efficiently and wisely, right? We can do that too. We don't have to do things the way they've always been done, particularly when we know better and we can see the impact of what our activities do. We know more, so we should do better. We should do better. It's not that hard to do better than we've done in the past. And so let me just remind you what the principle says. Environmental justice affirms the sacredness of Mother Earth, ecological unity, and the interdependence of all species, and the right to be free from ecological destruction. That's the first principle. We're all in this together, humans and non-humans. We're all here. We rely on each other. We rely on the earth. We rely on its resources. We rely on its air and its water and its land to survive. We're interdependent. We're unified. And we deserve to be free from ecological destruction. That's the first principle. And so as we continue on this series, continue thinking about what environmental justice is and what it looks like and how it manifests itself, we have to keep this foundation in mind, that the earth is sacred. The earth has value in and of itself, I would argue, because God created it. It has its own value, and that we should protect it. We should ensure that we do all that we can to keep it free from pollution and to prevent widespread, long-term ecological destruction, because that benefits everyone, not just a certain few. And of course, as we talk more about environmental justice, you'll see how the disproportionate impacts affect certain communities more than others. But that's another episode, another day. For now, just remember this: environmental justice, sacred earth, free from destruction. That's the first principle, and that's the foundation of the rest of the principles as we talk about this moving forward. So with that, I want to thank you for listening to the Environmental Justice Lab, where we are for the people and the planet. We'll see you next time.